Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first virtual camp fair for 2022. KidsAbility and the Waterloo Region Family Network are very excited to have all of the camps, service providers, and families joining us this evening as an opportunity to share information about all the wonderful programs and supports that are available for overnight camps, both within the Waterloo, Wellington regions, as well as across the province of Ontario. So welcome to everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I look forward to this opportunity to share information and learn all the details about those programs and supports to make sure that we get campers set up for success, and looking forward to a wonderful, warm, sunny summer from our snowy day here today. So I'm going to start by passing it over to Trudy from Camp Bellwood.
Hi there, I am Trudy from Bellwood Lodging Camp, and I'm just going to share my screen here. Go. Okie dokie. So, Bellwood. So, Bellwood Lodging Camp is located on Bellwood Lake, and it which is just outside of Fergus, Ontario, which is just outside of Guelph, Ontario, if you need a reference point as to where it is. So we create an inclusive camp environment for people with intellectual disabilities from ages 7 to 99. Although I'm yet to see a person 99 coming to camp, but I would love it. So our sessions, so we are doing slightly different this year versus last year. So this year we are very hopeful and we are working towards having our overnight camp go. Last year, because of COVID, we unfortunately we're only able to do day camp. So this year we are planning to go ahead with just overnight camp. So the first 2 weeks of summer, so starting on July 3rd, we're going to have our kids camp, which is traditional for Bellwood. So for 2 weeks, the camp will be set up for people ages 7 to 21. And then the 7 weeks following that will be for our adult campers. So those will be people age 18 to 99. Something slightly different this year versus other years at Bellwood is that every session is only going to be 1 week long. Previously, we've had some sessions that are 2 weeks long. So this year, everything is 1 week. So from Sunday afternoon to Friday morning. The programming that we provide at Bellwood Lodging Camp is, so we have a variety. So we like to try and provide a really kind of classic, quintessential camp experience. So providing drama and dance, sports and games, science and nature, swimming in our accessible pool, and arts and crafts. So every camper would have an opportunity to engage in all of these programs throughout their stay to make sure it's a nice, well-rounded time where people are able to express themselves creatively and then also express themselves physically in a healthy manner and really try to create a well-rounded day and routine for people coming to camp. So for the big question of COVID precautions, so what we're going to be doing this year at this moment is that we'll be running camp at a 75% capacity of campers. So we will be lowering significantly. So there'll be a lot more room in our cabins and it will be like a smaller cohort. So we will be working out of a cohort model to limit interaction with other people at the camp. We're going to have we have enhanced cleaning protocols, so high touch surfaces will be getting cleaned a lot more frequently, and we're going to increase the number of hand washing stations throughout the camp so people have more opportunity to clean hands and make sure everything's all sanitized up. All the staff and campers coming to camp this year are expected to be fully vaccinated to attend camp. And if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, you can visit our website at bellwoodlodgingcamp.com and you can email me at info@bellwoodlodgingcamp.com. We're really excited to hear from you.
Okay, thank you, Trudy. I'm going to stop your spotlight and I'm going to turn it over to Emily from Camp Awakening. Sorry, and I'm going to spotlight you for everybody. There you go.
Amazing. Thank you. Hi, everyone. So my name's Emily. My pronouns are she, her. I am the program director at Camp Awakening. I'm really quickly just going to share my screen and show you a video, and then I'll tell you a little bit more. Camp Awakening is a registered charity offering a variety of wilderness-based outdoor recreation programs for youth with physical disabilities. Founded in 1982, Camp Awakening's overnight summer camp, leadership, and young adult programs give campers and participants aged 8 to 29 the opportunity to increase independence, learn new life and social skills, and enjoy their summer outside. At camp, participants will make lasting friendships and accomplish things they never thought possible. Camp Awakening partners with established summer camps across Ontario. Kilcoo Camp for boys, Camp Oconto for girls, and Cedar Ridge Camp for our LIT and adult camp programs. Our host camps offer an accessible cabin, a wide range of adapted outdoor activities, and a safe and inclusive environment. In our integrated program, campers will learn life, leadership, social, and wilderness skills. Campers will learn to live healthy, active lives and discover the wonders of nature. Most importantly, campers will challenge their perceived limitations and have so much fun while doing it.
I love Camp Awakening because I get to do so many things that I can't at home.
I get to meet new friends. Waters are magical. Nights are amazing.
Camp is awesome.
Because of everything, it's so much fun.
It pushes me to new heights.
In addition to all of our on-site camp programs we offer, each camper will also get the chance to go on a canoe trip and dive even deeper into the Ontario wilderness. While camp might look a little different this year with increased public health guidelines in place, we are confident it will still be an awesome summer, and we look forward to returning to the shores of Gull, Eagle, and Wanamaker Lake for the summer of 2022. Amazing. So I just want to spotlight a few of those things. Thanks so much for watching that video. First, Camp Awakening is specifically for children and young adults with physical disabilities, and we do have quite a specific eligibility criteria. That being said, we want to talk with you. Our camp can work for you. So if you have any questions or before you put in any applications, we actually would like to have a quick phone call with you or Zoom. So feel free to email us at info.com, and we'll set up a quick chat to see if your camper might be eligible for our camp. In terms of the COVID precautions, as I'm sure we're all going to talk about briefly, we are limiting our cabin capacity, and we have cut it to just about 60%, give or take. And we're working with the Ministry of Public Health in each area because we use host camps. We are in 3 different locations, so we're working with everyone to make sure that we are making sure everybody is safe. Applications for our March break and our LIT program are opening this week, which we're very excited about. And for the rest of our summer camps, they'll be opening in the coming weeks. So join us on social media or check on our website, or again, feel free to email and we can get back to you, no problem. I'm just going to pop my email in the chat as well. So feel free to email me. Again, I'm Emily. I'm the program director, and I'm super excited to chat with you. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Emily. Next, I'm going to stop your spotlight and I'm going to turn it over to Bethany. I guess there she is, from Camp Reba.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. I hope that everyone can hear me. Perfect. I'm just going to start off by sharing my screen. I'm going to share a PowerPoint so you guys can learn all about camp. Perfect. All right. Perfect. Let's go. Awesome. So like I said, my name is Bethany. I am the assistant director here at Camp Rebuff. I've worked here for about 8 years now, and I've done multiple positions, including being an inclusion counselor. So if you do have any questions about what the counselors do that I may not have added in here, you can definitely drop me some questions and I can answer that. But yeah, we'll just jump right into it. We're talking all about Camp Rebuff and our exciting fun summer 2022 that we have planned. So we are located just outside of Guelph in a small town called Rockwood. And we have been in operation since 1941 through the Hamilton Diocese and the Catholic Youth Organization. Previously, we've operated as an all boys camp, and then we transitioned into a co-ed overnight and day camp. And we are a traditional adventure style overnight camp. Our campers are split up in by age group for their cohorts so that they have appropriate programming for their age. You can see all of the ages listed here. We call our campers fun names like herbivores, omnivores, and carnivores. So herbivores would be our youngest age group. They are being born between 2013 and 2015. Our omnivores between 2010 and 2012, and our carnivores, being our oldest, are from 2008 and 2009. That being said, if your camper aligns with a different age group and you feel that they would excel in a different age group, then in the past we have made changes and we have moved them into an appropriate cabin or cohort so that they can do well in their program. Here I have listed a bunch of the fun camp activities that we do every day. Like I said, we're a traditional overnight camp, so we do lots of fun activities outdoors. We have our in-house challenge course that has an accessible element for campers with mobility issues. We do fun things like nature rotation, sports, canoeing, archery, arts and crafts, outdoor survival, rock wall, faith, drama, music, and our campers do have an opportunity to swim every day, because I know that that is a fan favorite, especially when it's really hot during the summer. And we also do weekly sleep outs as well in our Camp Rebuff Forest. You guys can see I also included a little picture over there. Those are some of our youngest campers. They are taking part in our outdoor survival and they're doing some shelter building. Over here, you can see lots of fun photos. These are our best 5-star reviews. It's always the smiling faces of our campers. So you can see some of the different camp activities that they're taking part in. As well as on the bottom, you can see my staff member, Kaylin. He's the one that's covered in cards. We also do weekly themes for our camp. So that means that our camp staff put in a lot of work to dedicate themselves to a certain theme, and they carry it out for the week, and they really make it come alive for the campers. So they do lots of fun skits during the week, as well as they specifically theme all of their programs towards whatever we're focusing on that week. And then you can also see in the bottom right corner, we have a very happy customer. She's enjoying her tuck. We do tuck every day as well. So that means that the campers have an opportunity to purchase a small special treat for themselves or a little snack just to enjoy. Here I have included a typical day and what that looks like here at camp. If you do register for camp, you will receive a parent package, and that is included. Depending on your program, you'll see one for overnight camp or you'll see one for day camp. But yeah, you can kind of go through that, and that can help you get comfortable with your camper before they arrive. In the past, we have also given campers copies of the schedule if they have any issues with transitioning or anything like that. We do extra things like that to make sure that they feel comfortable. Talking more about our inclusion program here at camp. All campers are given the opportunity to make new friends and memories. So our inclusion staff are really just there to help the camper with their integration into the group and allow them to form those connections. We offer programs that are adaptable, and the support is given to the camper. So all of the programs that we have and different activities here at camp will be made adaptable so that the camper can take part. And if it's not appropriate and cannot be made adaptable, then we will just do something entirely different so that the cabin can take part in the activity all together. We offer 1-to-1 and 2-to-1 camper staff ratios depending on the child's needs, as well as if you prefer to have your own support provided for your child. Maybe, for example, you work really closely with someone who already knows the child well and you would like them to attend camp. We have done that in the past, and we're definitely open to exploring that with your family as well. It's not typically done, but yes, we have had a lot of people bring their own supports into camp as well. Whatever works for the camper, we want them to have fun while they're here. A little bit more about our inclusion staff and our just staff in general. All of our camp staff will go through our camp staff training program prior to the camper's arrival. And our inclusion staff will be trained in specific areas. So they will be working with our youth consultant to make sure that they are trained and they are ready for the camper prior to them coming for their session. A lot of our inclusion staff also come from different educational backgrounds, and they can also rely on their personal experiences. That's why we hire them for those roles. It may be something that they are really interested in, or maybe something that they are really good at, depending on where they are coming from. How can I register my camper? So at this time, our registration is open. We are running 5 weeks of overnight camp. And typically each week we will take about 6 inclusion campers. Again, if the spots are full and you have your own support, then we can add the camper on additionally, and we can make that work for your family. All of our registration is done online through our camp website. So you guys can head to www.camperbuff.ca and you can check that out. If you've already come to camp with us before, you would just use your previous login. If you've never been with us, then you would just need to create a new user login and you can proceed from there. Once you've registered, you want to make sure that you register for the inclusion program and you select that your child does need additional support. And then our office staff will review the application here and we will follow up with any additional questions. Another thing that we will do is we will send an inclusion form directly to you for you to fill out. This is so that we can get a better idea about the camper and their needs. So what they would need daily from our staff, as well as any unique behaviors that might come up at home or might come up while they're away from home. Another thing that we typically do with our campers to help them prepare that parents find helpful is give them a tour of the facility, or they can attend the open house. A lot of times that does really help with the transition, allowing the camper to get really comfortable with the site so that they know what is going on when they come for their entire week of camp. All right. A little bit about our COVID safety here at Camper Buff. We did run overnight and day camp last summer. We are one of the few camps that did run overnight camp. So we are kind of going off of what we did last year because that worked out really well for us. And we are making some small tweaks as the government and province changes their guidelines. So things like drop off upon arrival, campers will be screened. And then we ask that parents do not leave the designated drop-off area. Obviously, if your camper has mobility issues and they need assistance getting to the cabin from their family, that is obviously allowed, but we found that it was best for us to have our parents stay in one designated area just to minimize any risk that may have. While at camp, our cabins are laid out to respect the provincial guidelines, so there is lots of space inside of the cabins for the campers to move around freely. Campers are asked to wear masks while indoors or in close contact with others. And all of their activities are done in their cohort. So once the camper arrives, they'll be assigned to their cohort and they will stick with them so that they are not in contact with the rest of the camp. One thing that we found that worked out really well for us was that we also had all of our meals outside. They were packed up nicely by our kitchen staff in kind of a picnic style. And the campers got to choose a really cool place around camp that they would want to eat. And we would do that for every meal because, as we know, eating is more of a high risk activity with COVID. Some additional things that we're also offering and doing to mitigate the spread of COVID is that each cohort will have their own designated equipment, as well as designated indoor spaces and washrooms. Our employees also will follow a regular cleaning schedule, as well as our maintenance employees will be cleaning as well. And then we will be introducing lots of hand washing into our daily routine, as well as our counselors will always have some hand sanitizer in their fanny pack and ready to go. If you guys have any questions or you want to check us out, we are online. We're on all of the fun platforms, even TikTok. We got our stuff on TikTok, so that's awesome. But you guys can definitely check us out: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, just to see what we're all about as of right now. If you guys have any questions, you guys can contact me. My name again is Bethany. I'm in the office, as well as you can email me here. I've left it on the screen and I will put it in the chat below. Before I end, I just did want to add on, just because I totally forgot to add this previously. We are very open to working with families and the child, because we do want every kid to find a program that works for them. So we do take verbal, nonverbal, as well as children with mobility issues. Just because I know that was a question last year. A lot of parents were wondering whether or not people were accepting nonverbal. We are accepting a lot of different campers. That is where our inclusion form comes in. We just ask that you fill that out to the best of your ability and be open with us so that we can make sure that they are in a program that allows them to excel. All right. That is everything that I have written down. If anyone has any questions, you guys can put those for me in the chat, as well as I've left up my contact information here on the screen. So don't be afraid to reach out with any questions that you may have.
So Bethany, there were a couple questions that came in the chat. One,
Yeah.
Can you describe your swimming, how accessible it is?
So our swimming, for the accessibility, we do have a lift. We don't have a ramp. It is a ladder entrance, but for our campers who are in wheelchairs, our lifeguards, our wellness staff, and their counselor will be trained on how to operate the pool lift, and that is how they will be getting in and out of the pool each day. Someone also asked what a traditional adventure camp is. Kind of like if you think about like a fun camp in the 90s, you know, you're always outside, you're going canoeing, you're having lots of campfires, we're singing outside, we're doing overnight sleep outs, just fun things like that. Can your staff assist with transfers? Yes, our staff will be trained on doing any transfers or lifts that they may need to do with the camper, as well as they do any other additional needs that the camper has, like toileting or feeding or anything like that. If there is anything like medically wise, where the camper has a unique need, we ask that the parents reach out to us and our wellness staff. And in the past, our wellness has assisted with those things as well. Perfect. Those are good questions. Thanks for asking. Yeah.
Okay, so thanks, Bethany. And I'm sure when we open the chat up at the end, there may be a few more.
Perfect.
But we'll get you to stop sharing your screen.
Got it.
And then we're going to turn it over to Chris from Hiddemakers.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. It's great to be here tonight and be here again to share a little bit about who we are and what we do. My name is Chris. I just am transitioning into the executive director role. I'm at least on an interim basis for now. I used to be the program director and I've been here for almost 12 years now. And we're located just outside of Kitchener-Waterloo. So right in between New Hamburg and Stratford, just outside of Shakespeare, if you sort of know this area at all. We're a mix typically of day and overnight camps and have a variety of programs that we're going to be running this summer. And I'm just going to start my screen share here for you. And while that's coming up, I'll mention that this is our 60th anniversary as a camp, which is exciting for us that we've been around that long. We're really excited to be offering camp again this summer. Last summer we ran 7 weeks of day camp, and this summer we're really looking forward to getting back to what we hope will be a good mix and balance of day and overnight camps. So this summer our schedule between July and August is we're going to be running 3 weeks of week-long overnight children's camps for 8 to 15-year-olds. So you'll see some of those in July and some of those in August. We're going to be running one partial week. It's called our mini camp for 6 to 9-year-olds, and that's going to be right at the beginning of the summer, beginning of July, and that's for 6 to 9-year-olds. And then we're also, we have 2 weeks of camp called SIAC, and that stands for Supported Young Adults Camp. And that's a camp for young adults with special needs, anywhere from 18 to 35 years of age. And there's 1 week in July and 1 week in August. And so those will be the camps that we're talking about. You'll see that we run some other programs. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask about those programs, but I'm not going to necessarily spend a lot of time talking about our day camps or single moms camps. And I just realized I don't have our basketball camp listed, but we have a week of basketball camp as well. Typical activities for us, similar to Brebu for like a traditional overnight summer camp. So we have a climbing tower. Actually, hopefully the next week or so, we'll be breaking ground to rebuild and have a brand new climbing tower ready to go for this summer. We swim in what we call Lake Laverne, which is a spring-fed pond. We do canoeing, archery, campwide games, singing, crafts, sports, weekly themes, opportunities to explore faith, and obviously lots more in between all of that. So a really great place, in my opinion, to spend a week in the summer. And what does inclusion or support look like for us? For our children's camps, our week-long children's camps and our mini camp, generally our cabins overall are like a 4-to-1 ratio. Sometimes we're even lower than that. So we typically have 5 to 8 campers and a couple of staff in a cabin. I'm going to talk a little bit more about COVID stuff in a little bit, but that's where we typically are. One staff member, so if we have a camper who needs extra support, one of those staff members in a cabin would be what we call an inclusion cabin leader. And so they would have extra experience or training or education around providing support for campers who need it. We can provide one-to-one support for campers as well, if needed. And for our SIAC programs, our Camp for Young Adults with Special Needs, that's typically a 2-to-1 ratio for our staff. So that program, we use our fully accessible Woodhouse Retreat Center, so we don't stay in our cabins. Many of our cabins aren't accessible. So we use our retreat center, and there's usually 2 or 3 campers in a room with a staff member, and then other staff supports that during the daytime. And so the ratios are a little bit different for that program. All of our programs, when it comes to support, our hope and our goal is that our campers feel included and are part of their group, their cabin. They're welcomed at camp, and they have opportunities to connect and build healthy relationships, to get involved and participate in the camp program, and just have an overall really fun and positive experience, just like every other camper that's at camp. And then our staff are there to provide whatever necessary support is needed. So if the camper is being very independent and is getting along really well and having a good time, our staff just sort of hang out and have fun with them, but they're always there ready to step in and provide support as needed, depending on the camper and what their needs are. Our campers do need to be fairly independent in the washroom. Our staff are not trained in that area, so that sometimes is a limiting factor for us. And generally, we're unable to support any significant or strong aggressive behaviors. And so those two areas are sometimes an opportunity for a conversation with the family to see if we are the best fit. But like we've heard at a few other camps already tonight, we are happy to have conversations, tours, and connect with families to find out if we are a great fit. And we actually have a document on our website. If you go to our summer camp page, there's an inclusion tab, and that has sort of a few questions that you can go through to answer to figure out if Hiddemakers is a good fit at this time for your children or your youth. When it comes to COVID at camp, we had a very safe and successful summer last year. We had no cases of COVID for us at Hiddemakers, and only 2 situations, thankfully, where we had to get either a staff member or a camper tested. So our practices and our policies and procedures that we implemented kept us safe last summer. We met or exceeded all of the Ministry of Health guidelines for Ontario. Our plan is to continue to do that this summer, to meet or exceed all those guidelines. So when it comes to screening or mask wearing or distancing, vaccines, sanitizing, we will meet and exceed all of those. We are planning for reduced capacities for, I think, all of our programs except our day camps. We can take a fair number of day campers with our programs, but when it comes to overnight programs, there will be reduced capacities to allow for a bit more room and space. But in terms of other specifics, we're waiting on the specific guidelines to make 100% decisions on everything, but we will meet and exceed them if and when they come out. Our plan B, if we do have to switch, if for some reason overnight camps can't happen, we will shift to day camps and we'll run a summer of day camps again, although it's not our hope, but we do have a plan in place to hopefully limit having to cancel or close opportunities for kids to be here this summer. And our cancellation policy will remain the same as last year, that if anything changes due to COVID, there's no financial risk. So if you sign up on February 1st, which is when our registration opens, and for some reason something changes, or you or your family get COVID or something like that, and you can't come to camp, or we switch to day camps and that just doesn't work, we'll provide a refund, or we'll carry fees to a future summer, or whatever we can do to support you, but there's no financial risk. And like I mentioned, registration opens on February 1st. If you have any questions, you can check out our website, hiddemakers.ca. You can send us an email, give us a call. Again, my name is Chris. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have, and look forward to hopefully seeing you at camp this summer.
So Chris, there was a question in the chat. Just wondering what you have for 16-year-olds. So I don't know if you can briefly, in a summary, go over what your ages are for your overnight camp.
Yes. Did I? Oh, I didn't have that in my list of camps. So one of our weeks of SIAC is 16 to 25, and one is 18 to 35, I think, are the ages. They sort of shift semi-regularly, so I may have those wrong, but they're on our website. But we do have, our SIAC program does start at 16, and I apologize if I said 18 earlier. I think I may have, but that would be me misspeaking. SIAC starts at 16.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so now we will turn the presentation over to Alana from Camp Kodiak.
Ooh, sorry about that. There we go. All right. My name is Alana. I'm one of the owners and directors of Camp Kodiak, and I'm just going to take you through some information. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those. Here we go. Our campers are between the ages of 6 to 18. We do have a Kodiak Jr, a 1-week program for 6 to 9-year-olds. And Our camp is predominantly for campers with learning disabilities, ADHD, and or high functioning ASD. All of our campers must be able to independently manage all aspects of daily living skills and their personal care and hygiene. As well, we spend a lot of time making sure that we really consider cabin groups. And so we don't just group campers together by their birthday, they are organized by best social fit that is also age appropriate. So our application process is rather intensive, and we want to make sure that not only are we the best fit for the camper in terms of program, but also that we have an appropriate social group in a cabin that will meet their needs. Because as soon as you do that, the likelihood of making and keeping friends will increase. Oops, sorry, wrong way. Here we go. Our program, we have a 2-to-1 camper to staff ratio around camp. That doesn't include our catering staff. It doesn't include our laundry staff. The 2-to-1 involves any staff at camp who works with campers. Living in the cabins themselves, it's a 3-to-1 ratio or better. We have a maximum of 9 campers in each cabin, and there are 3 counselors that live in the cabins with them. We have an academic program that takes place Monday to Friday for 50 minutes right after breakfast, so that our campers don't experience the summer slide, because the break from school is a long one. And so we just review and reinforce different academic skills and concepts so that they don't forget about them. We have a social skills program that's embedded into everything we do from the moment they wake up until the moment they go to bed. So campers are constantly learning, practicing, refining positive social skills. And we teach it in context so that it is much easier for them to understand and to apply independently. Our LIT, our Leader in Training program, is for our 16 to 18-year-old campers. So they are still campers, but they get to take on additional responsibilities, and they also get additional privileges. And through these volunteer opportunities, they actually have an opportunity to earn their volunteer hours for high school graduation. And we have over 50 different camp activities. We have a full waterfront with canoeing, kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, water skiing, wakeboarding, kneeboarding, swimming, inflatables on the water, to archery, high ropes, rock climbing, a variety of different land sports, tennis, bouldering, mini golf, horseback riding. We even have fencing. If we don't have it, then we might have a counselor there that has some experience, and we're always willing to introduce new activities as well. Our staff is pretty unique. In every cabin, at least one of the 3 counselors is a professional who works with kids throughout the year. So we have a number of counselors who are teachers, social workers, child and youth care workers, recreation specialists, and other related professionals. The rest of our staff are post-secondary students who have completed at least 1 year of college or university. Many of them are in related fields of study, and some of them unfortunately end up changing their major after a summer at Camp Kodiak because they have found a new passion. Our health centers team includes 1 doctor, 3 nurses, and a student nurse. And this year we are also introducing a health center manager who will oversee everything and be the main contact person with parents. All 3 of our directors, including myself, are teachers, and 2 of us have extensive experience teaching in special education classrooms. And our 2 assistant directors are also teachers, one of whom is a full-time special education teacher. Here's an aerial shot of our property. And as you can see, there's just 1 speedboat on the lake. It's a nice quiet lake. We have over 400 acres. We're on a small, clean lake. And one of the benefits of that is that when it gets warm in June and July, the water warms up and it stays warm for the rest of the summer. We have modern, comfortable wooden cabins with bathrooms contained right inside the cabin. So every cabin group has their own bathroom with 2 sinks, a toilet stall, and a shower stall. Our health center staff are available 24 hours a day, and we're located just 25 minutes from a modern hospital in Parry Sound. and we're just located 2.5 hours north of Toronto. Our application process starts with you. It involves just going on our website, finding out more about us. If you think that this might be a great opportunity for your camper, then we ask you to complete an application form. We'll then contact you to review that application form, ask any questions. And then if we feel that your camper might be a great prospective camper for us, then we're going to schedule a meeting by Zoom with one of the directors, myself or one of my sisters, so that we can determine first if our program is going to be the best program to meet their needs, and also to ensure that we have an appropriate cabin group for them. COVID-19 has certainly thrown a wrench into our lives at camp, and last year we made the choice to pivot, and we offered family retreats instead of our regular summer program. This year, we are very hopeful, and we are planning for a full return to as regular a camp season as possible. We don't know what that's going to look like yet in terms of which COVID mitigation strategies we need to employ, but because we spent a lot of time preparing for it last year, we are prepared to do any number of the things that you see listed, or all of them, or any combination thereof. It will be essential that all of our campers and all of our staff are fully vaccinated prior to arriving at camp this summer. And really, although we want everyone to have fun, making sure that everyone is safe is our primary priority. And as I said, my name is Alana. I'm one of the directors, and you can contact us at info@campkodiak.com. And for more information, photos, videos, and everything else, and an extensive frequently asked questions page for parents, please visit our website at campkodiak.com.
Thank you, Alana. That was great. So Sue is going to present next on just Camp Kennebec, who unfortunately couldn't be here. So Sue, we're gonna put you on.
And where did my brochure go? There. Okay, can you see the brochure for Camp Kennebec?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, I will try again. Now, can you see the brochure for Camp Kennebec? Is that working, Cheryl?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I have not been to Camp Kennebec myself, but I do know of people who have, and well, their son is hoping to go for 8 weeks next time because he's been going for a few years and just can't imagine doing anything else with his summer. So I thought, take advantage of that opportunity to at least go through the flyer with you. So Camp Kennebec welcomes campers with special needs and developmental delays, including autism, ADHD, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, learning disabilities, anxiety, and social skill challenges. And they've been doing this since '67. So they really want to give kids a wonderful, typical summer camp experience, accepting them and adapting for them without having their challenges be getting in the way of silliness and fun activities that you can have at camp. They have all kinds of activities, including water sports, the tire swing, as you can see. It's a fun, supportive, flexible camp. It's co-ed, it's overnight for ages 6 and up. And even just being away from home for some campers, it's the first time, as a lot of the other providers here will know, and that can be really life-changing for kids to build that confidence they can manage away from home. So sessions are ranging from 1 week right up to 8 weeks, depending on what works for your family. They have the 2-to-1 camper to cabin staff ratio. And again, a lot of typical outdoor camp things like campfires, talent shows, dances, special trips, carnival day, and they really work on building leadership and social skills for teens and life skills and job prep and independence for young adults. So they also have 50 activities. I'm not going to go through them all, although trampoline is one we haven't heard of yet today, and beach volleyball. And then they just have some nice feedback from campers themselves. So I think some of these campers really felt like they fit in when they were there. So they have 1,000 acres and they're in Arden, Ontario. And what I wasn't able to find out in time was their registration date. But this flyer was emailed to all the participants. So you have the contact information. If you want to reach out to Camp Kennebec and ask more questions, you're welcome to do that. And I'm sorry that Shadow Lake canceled the last minute, so we didn't have time to get a flyer from them yet. But if we get one, we will be sure to forward it through WRFN and KidsAbility social media and our newsletter. Thanks.
Okay, I think so that wraps up all of our camp information for this evening. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the camps for coming out to join us and sharing information about your programs and supports so that our families can make informed decisions about which camp might be the best fit for their camper, and our fellow service providers can support additional families who weren't able to make it here tonight to share information about your programs and help families connect to you and to the programs and supports that are going to be the best fit for their camper.